Today on the Hopefulist, embrace the wisdom we have gained, a doggy dye job, and would you go back to high school if you could?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning and happy Cocktail Friday, people. We made it. It's the freaking weekend. Yay! Friday! It's here, finally. All right, it's Friday, August 23rd, 2019. And I've got some cold ones in the outside fridge, chilling, just waiting to be popped open a little bit later on today. Now, yesterday, I did partake in a Thirsty Thursday ritual. I had gone out on the boat with a group of my girls here in the neighborhood. My first time on a pontoon boat. Now, pontoon boats get kind of a bad name. A lot of people with other types of boats call them not real boats. And I've kind of been turned off from them just because they kind of get a bad rap. I got to tell you, I really enjoyed the pontoon boat. The difference was, it's kind of a flat bottom. And it has a big area in between where the water can go under the boat rather than, the opposite for other types of boats where they have the hole where it goes down. And, so you can go into more shallow areas with the pontoon boat. Now, here's what I really liked about it. The ride was a lot smoother than on a regular boat. I guess because it's got the flat bottom, just the way that it's engineered and manufactured. And that's kind of the part that I think Joe really dislikes is, when you're going fast, there's a lot of banging. Like when you're hitting waves, it like kind of just bangs the boat. And a lot of times it feels like the boat's just going to break apart. I have not had that happen to me yet, but I'm sure it's not a common occurrence. I'm sure it's happened from time to time, but I don't think it's a common occurrence. But it's just one of those things where every time you're like, bang, bang, bang. And it's a little unnerving. So maybe this is something that we should explore. Maybe a pontoon boat. And, there's so much seating with a pontoon boat. As Joe calls it, it's a living room on the water. And it was. I mean, there was so much seating. We wouldn't get one as big as the one that we were on yesterday, but we went for a little ride and checked out some of the sites. And then we anchored up in the Harvey Cedars area, where there used to be a little island that has now washed away because when we got there, it's been a few years since I've been out there, but I used to kayak around there. A friend of mine, his mother lived in that area, so I would go there and use his kayaks, and I would kayak out to the little island. And so when we got there, we all kind of jumped in the water, and it was really it wasn't even up to our knees. You couldn't go into that with a regular boat, I can tell you that. So I was looking around, and I'm like, wasn't there a little island here? And Gary, who was driving, well, it's his boat. He was driving the boat. He's like, yeah. He goes, it got washed away like 2 years ago in a storm. And there's this wooden, just all these wooden pieces there now. And he said, yeah, there's been, apparently it was a hotel at one point. I said, how was it a hotel? It's in the water. And he said, it wasn't then. I'm like, oh, yeah. LBI might be underwater in the next 50 to 100 years like they are predicting. But it was very interesting. We hung out there for a couple of hours, had a few adult beverages. I brought my salad. I was really good. And then we ordered Chinese for dinner. So then my good day went all out the window. Hey, progress. I had a healthy lunch. I'm making progress. Now I'll have the leftovers for lunch today. So today won't be so good either. I'm trying. Like I said, it's a toss-up. Do I go out and have some fun, or do I stay home and try to get skinny? I'm going to go out and have some fun. Like I said, I'm married. He's stuck with me. I know that's not necessarily true, but I don't think he's going anywhere. So it was a really fun day yesterday on the boat. I put up a picture with my crew on the Hopefulist group page, and please check it out if you get a chance. Excuse me. And make sure you do something that you love this weekend. Tomorrow is supposed to be an amazing day. The humidity is finally gone. For how long? I don't know. But tomorrow is supposed to be sunny and 80 degrees with next to no humidity. And it's going to be a perfect day for the boat parade. Can't wait. Laguna Light's going to be here tomorrow. We got to come home and put all the lights up around the house. And then we're going to go over and help Mike put all the lights up on his boat. I'm going to bring my treats that I got. And we're going to have a blast. Now, one of the ladies from the group I was in yesterday is having a gathering for the Laguna Lights. And I initially responded that I was going to go. And I was like, oh, sorry. I was asked to participate. Got to participate. But we're going to try and make some rounds. We'll see what happens. A funny story. Not really a funny story. A very disturbing story, in fact, that I saw this morning on the news. A dog. I'm not sure where this was. I think it was Florida. A dog was returned home from the groomers with neon green eyebrows and hot pink ears. No, in fact, the owners did not request that. What are people thinking? I mean, seriously. This was a golden doodle. It was like a beige, honey-colored dog. And they just, put neon green dye on its eyebrows and dye the lower portion of his ears in hot pink. They did refund the money for that grooming and gave them a voucher for a free grooming in the future. And they said, yeah, we won't be coming back. Thank you. What is wrong with people? I mean, what is wrong with people? Ugh. I tell you, if that happened to me, I don't know how calm I would have been. Speaking of my dog, I don't know if this happens with other people. My dog, Tucker, loves our neighbors so much, Keith and Karen. Now, they are part-timers down here. It's their summer weekend home, and they are here mostly on weekends, not every weekend. And then as the weather gets a little cooler, they probably will come a little less often. They still come all year, but, Tucker and Karen are just best buds. In fact, they have the same birthday. They are birthday twins, so I think that there's a bond there. And so when we go out on the porch, our porch faces their house. Tucker literally just sits there in the porch area and stares at their sliding glass door, just waiting for one of them to come out. And when they do, and we say good morning to each other, she starts barking like a freak, and we can't hear each other talk because she's so busy barking and freaking out. So I feel like every time we go out there, all she does is stare at the neighbor's house. And I'm like, could you pay attention to us? Like, do you like them more than us? Because it certainly seems that way. The only consolation I have is a couple of times when we've been out for, say, the whole day, I'd asked, them to, just come in and let Tucker out and go potty or whatever. And a couple of times they have taken her back over to their house. And she said that although she, is happy to be there, she does keep looking at the door, waiting for us to come through it. And she'll go and walk up to the door and stare at it. See, Tucker lives it a little bit backwards. I've said to Joe many times, she's always missing the one that's not here instead of enjoying the one that is here. Like if I happen to go out, he says she'll sit there and stare at the door until I come back instead of just, he's like, what am I, chopped liver? And but she does the same when Joe's not here. Maybe not to the same extent, but, she definitely gets sad when not everybody is around her that she wants to be. But yes, she is, she's a little princess, that one, I'll tell you. It really hurts my feelings sometimes. I'm like, you like Karen and Keith more than you like us, don't you? She's like, well, maybe sometimes. Okay, I can deal with it, I guess. Excuse me. I know, these dogs, I tell you what, they love you to death, you love them to death, but they sure do know how to hurt your feelings once in a while. So I'm going to move on to my topic for today. And I had put up 2 topics. Now, I had put up the first topic asking, what do you love about growing older? Because we are embracing our age this week, right? So I had kicked it off saying not caring as much what people think. That is one of my favorite things about growing older. What else do we have? Joseph says naps. I actually have taken naps most of my life. Connie says having an excuse for forgetting stuff. Yeah, that's convenient. Denise says not giving a crap, shall I say. Marcy says getting to know myself better. Eleanor says knowing what's important and what is a waste of my time. Diane says being above the ground and blessed with wonderful family and friends. Got through the hard times and now enjoying a happy life. See, that's how you look at it. That's the way you do it. Good for you, Diane. Marianne says not worrying what anyone thinks. Wearing a ponytail at 64 is very freeing. There you go. You know, I went somewhere recently and I wore pigtails. Well, two ponytails. And I haven't done that in a long time. And everybody commented on it. I don't know if they were making fun of me behind my back. But it was a really hot day, and it was a way to just kind of keep me cooler, and I thought it looked kind of cute. So maybe I'm too old for it. Maybe I don't care. Maybe I don't care. Kelly said that she is not a fan about growing when it comes to growing older. I told her she's doing pretty well. She needs to just lighten up a little bit because she's doing great. I follow her on Facebook, and she definitely has a lot going on. So I decided to put up another topic because I thought this might be a little more interesting, and I got a lot of responses. I asked if you could go back to high school and live your life all over again, would you? Oh, my. We have got some answers, let me tell you. Denise says no. Dawn says not a chance. Marianne says never. Teresa says yes with what I know now. Oh, my God, yes. And then she responded again, but hell no if I had to do it in today's world. The 80s rocked. You know, that's a good point. This is a completely different world today than it was when I grew up. I also grew up in the 80s. Linda says never. Cannoli, who is Lisa, says absolutely. Larry says no question. Yes, I would do it. Beverly says hell no. Kim says hell yeah. Karen says as long as I have the knowledge that I do today. Well, and I kind of thought of it as having the knowledge that you do today. That's kind of what I had in my mind when I put the question out there, that you do have the knowledge that you do today. But having the knowledge that you do today then would reshape your whole life. Don't you think? That's what I think. Denise says, I agree with Teresa. The 80s rocked. I would so go back. Marcy says, sure, if I could change it. Michelle says, not if you paid me. Jean says, nope. Diane says, well, I loved high school, and I love the way my life turned out. Minus a few things, but all the same, yes, if I could do it all over again, just the same. So she wants to do it over again, the same. Kevin says, maybe if I know what I know now. Michelle says, hell yes. Veronica says, no way. Carmen says, yes, I would. 80s were the best. Rose says, no way. Cheryl says, yes. Joe says, absolutely. I was a hormone-driven idiot. Can I change that part? Knowing what you know now, you probably could. Lorraine says, hell no. Linda says, no. Denise is starting to razz somebody in the group saying, no, Teresa, the 70s rocked. Tara says, absolutely not. Wendy says, not a chance. And Mary Lou says, as long as I could keep my kids. Now, Jim, the rambler of the group, says, I agree with Karen. Hindsight is 2020. I wouldn't want to relive what I've already been through because there was a lot of good times and a lot of bad too. But if I could do it again with a different perspective, with knowledge I hadn't had till now, oh, what a difference that would have made. So my answer is no. because there's no way I can do it with the knowledge I have now without a time machine.